Hi everyone, I'm Ellie, and today we are going to be taking a look at this Angel Ruby costume that I purchased from Uwowo. Uwowo? Uwowo? Uwowo. Uwowo. I have no clue how to say their name. It's this. Uwowo. Uwowo? Uwowo? Is that right? Anyway, they are a very popular cosplay retailer, especially for Love Live costumes. And I was able to get this costume on a really great sale, so I figured I should show you guys what they're all about. Without further ado, let's take a look. So I purchased this costume for their Lunar New Year sale. I was able to get the costume for $15, and then shipping was also $15. So I spent a total of 30 bucks on this costume, which honestly is an incredible deal. There's no way I could have made this for 30 bucks or bought it anywhere else for 30 bucks. So I'm definitely happy with my purchase in that regards. However, if you were to buy this costume at full price, it would run $45 plus shipping. So you're looking at closer to 60 bucks on this costume. And in that case, I'm not 100% sure if it would be worth it. So let's take a look at the actual costume itself. This costume comes with the ruffly top, this super duper cute skirt, as well as some rings, tattoos, a leg garter, leg cuffs, a swirly vine thing. There are lots of little pieces with this costume. And I'll have to admit that might have been the thing I was most impressed with. I didn't expect to be getting all of these itty bitty accessories, things that I thought I would have to be making myself. Especially since on the Uwowo website, if you're looking at purchasing this costume, you might notice that the tiara and the earphones that the girls wear in this set are sold separately. So with those being sold separately, I thought that maybe the rest of the accessories wouldn't be included. But they were, and they're really, really cute. I think they're quite beautiful, actually. One of the things I'm most impressed with is this really cool arm wrap. It is this beautiful vine design. It's cut out of a fabric, so it's not like fake flowers or a fake vine. It's some sort of fabric material, and it has these beautiful little flowers and pearls all over it. At the top, you'll see that there is clear elastic, so this way it can wrap around your arm and hold very secure. And then at the bottom, there is some Velcro to help it wrap around your wrist. Of course, when wearing this, I think it might be kind of slippery. It'll slip all over the place, so you might need to use some fashion tape to hold it on. But in general, I think that this is a super cute accessory, and I'm absolutely in love with it, quite frankly. One of the other small things that they included that I wasn't sure I would love or even use is this. Now, at first glance, I was like, oh, it's a choker, right? But looking at the card, she does not have a choker. Ruby does, however, have a really cute garter. So this is made to go around your thigh. And now, thighs are one of those things that it's kind of hard to conform to a universal size. Everybody has a different size thigh based on, their weight and their muscle and all sorts of things. But I was really impressed that this is made of a stretchy pleather, so it can stretch super far, and it holds its shape and it holds into place too. So inside there's also this little bit of plastic, boning maybe, to make it look like there's a bit more body to it, and it closes with Velcro. So this is one of those things that I didn't expect, but I really, really like. Of course, they also included 2 ankle cuffs. These will go around your ankles as you wear this costume, and these are really pretty as well. I love that the pleather they chose is kind of embossed. It has this really pretty swirly design on it. Plus, they used fabrics that were used in the main costume, so it all ties together really well. These flowers are super cute too, and they're sewn on, so they might stay a little bit better than if they were glued on. So you do have 2 of these, and I think these are precious, absolutely adorable. And then the weirdest slash coolest thing that came with this costume was all these little itty bitty things. So you have this beautiful flower ring. It's adjustable, so it can go on any of your fingers. It looks like Ruby's wearing one, and I didn't even notice. We also get these 2 little pearl clips, which go into Ruby's hair on her little like front tassel-y things. And then they gave us this one set, so only one set of tattoos, and these go on Ruby's thigh. Now, I love that they included these because this is one of those details that no one ever does the tattoos. All these Love Live costumes have tattoos, and it's super ridiculous because no one's ever gonna put that on. But I love that they included it so you can at least once for a photo shoot or for the convention or wherever you choose to wear this costume. So that's a really cool little detail that they included. Of course, I should also note that the costume did come in its own little bag. So everything was secure in this bag, and then all the little accessories were in a smaller bag. So that's just a nice little detail to kind of up the level of quality of this costume, you could say. It's one of those things that most online retailers wouldn't do. They kind of just shove it in a plastic bag, shove it in another bag, and ship it. This one came in this really nice plastic branded bag. So just another little detail that Uwowo uses that I think is really cute. So now let's get on to the actual costume. I bought this costume in a size large, and while I would have preferred to buy an extra large, my measurements did fit inside the large's measurements. Well, at least my bust did. They said that my hip measurements didn't fit any of the costumes, which is interesting because once I tried this costume on, I actually found that the skirt fits a lot better than the top does. So kind of interesting, their measuring schemes. Maybe I just wasn't reading it correctly, but I will say that the measurements are a little bit weird. So looking at the top first, so we can see that it is made of this beautiful kind of crepe material with a layer of organza as well. The scallop design on the bottom of these layers has been heat sealed, so it's not going to be fraying or falling apart anywhere. It's really, really beautiful. It's important to note that this costume came extremely wrinkly since it was in a bag from China for who knows how long. So it is important to iron this costume, but you'll want to be very, very, very careful. I was even just using the steam setting on my iron, so I wasn't even touching the costume with the actual hot part of my iron. I was just pressing the steam button, and I still managed to melt some of it. So please do note that the melting on the skirt is my fault, not the costume makers. So anyway, back to the top. So underneath the top, they actually have kind of a bandeau. So there's elastic under this part of the bust to keep everything kind of secure. If you watched my last review of a purchased costume, that cheerleader Hanamaru didn't have anything underneath, so I felt like the top kept rising up when I would dance. This one, however, I know it's going to stay in place because it has this wonderful elastic under the bust. A really nice detail, I super love it. Some of the other nice things about this costume is the adjustable straps, so you can adjust these to be whatever you need, and they're also removable, which is kind of cool. Just a nice little extra detail. The flower brooch on the front is made of these fake flowers that are sewn on, which is awesome. But I will say that it's a kind of a weird spot. If I were to make this costume, I would have placed it kind of here so you could see it when you're wearing it. However, as I'm wearing this costume, it's practically in my armpit, which is not only uncomfortable, but not necessarily the greatest look either. I will say though that the purple organza that they used is super duper cute, and I wish there was more of it on this costume. Now let's move on to the skirt. The skirt is one of my favorite parts of this costume. It's really, really cute. Their version of the skirt is made with a nice little tulle petticoat underneath, and then you have your 2 layers of scallops, followed by a custom printed fabric on top with this beautiful gold bias tape, and then a bunch of flowers along the waistband. Here are the things I love about this skirt. I think that the scallops on the underskirt are beautiful, and I also love that they did the custom printed fabric. I think that that's awesome, and if I were to do that myself, that would be way more expensive than $30. So the value really comes from this custom printed material. There's also that organza layer over top that has been embroidered and cut out very nicely. I think it's beautiful. It does melt very easily, like I have mentioned, but that's just something to be aware of, and I probably should have been more careful when I was steaming this costume. Along the waistband, you'll notice that there are a bunch of flowers. These are all hand sewn onto the costume. I will say though that I have had at least 3 or 4 of them fall off already, and I've only put the costume on myself once and on my dress form twice, so it hasn't been worn a whole lot and things are already falling off. If I were planning to wear this to a convention, I would definitely go back in and stitch those flowers on again, or maybe go through with some sort of glue. While I usually don't glue costumes, I think that these flowers might be a good place to glue. So the skirt doesn't have a zipper at all. The skirt just slips on with elastic, which is nice and it does fit very well, but I would have loved a zipper just because it can be challenging to get this over your shoulders and your bust, since it is obviously it's a little bit smaller. It stretches, but it's a little smaller. Either way though, the skirt fits me perfectly compared to the bodice, even though my hip measurement was nowhere near what they had suggested. So again, maybe user error, or maybe their measurements are just a little bit weird. I'm not quite sure. Another thing to note is that this costume is extremely short. Like, there is no coverage at all. None. 0. I'm wearing this costume with not only safety shorts, but also my idol bloomers, just because it's so tiny. It's really cute though. I mean, it's a great look, and if you're comfortable with showing that much skin, then that's great. Personally, that's not my thing. I like to be a little bit more covered. But anyway, it looks really good. I also love just the silhouette of this costume. The fact that you have this really ruffly bodice, and then you have your bare midriff and then the super cute skirt, it gives you this really nice shape and totally accentuates the waist and makes you look really tiny, which I totally appreciate. So I feel really good in this costume, which is awesome. Now, just one little nitpicky detail as I'm going through and trying to find things to say negatively about this costume. There is on the product model a bow that goes on Ruby's shoulder, and my costume did not come with one of those. Honestly, that's no big deal to me. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. But if you were really looking to get every single piece of this costume, that's something to be aware of. Mine didn't come with a bow, maybe yours will. But in general, I really like this costume, and I don't see myself wearing it a whole lot just because of how short it is, but I think it's really cute and will make some really good photos from it. So overall, I think that this costume is really cute. There's a lot of good stuff going on. You've got all these really adorable materials as well as a really nice silhouette. And I also love all the little accessories that they included. It's hard to find bad things to say about this costume other than the potential fit issues and how short it is. That's just something to be aware of, and honestly happens whenever you buy a costume online. It's hard to predict the exact fit of a costume. So in general, I definitely think this costume was worth the $30 I spent on it. Would I have paid $60 for it? Probably not, but that's just because it's not something I see myself wearing a lot. The quality is awesome, and if you would wear this all the time, then totally it is worth the $60. But also, Uwowo has a million sales. It's like always on sale, and this is one of the costumes that is always included in those sales. So you can definitely find it for less than the recommended price. Well, I guess that's it. If you guys have any questions about this costume, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. If there are any other costumes you'd like to see me review, you can also go ahead and leave those below. Make sure you subscribe for more content and give this video a big thumbs up. And I will continue to do my Rubestie. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. And until next time, keep sewing, stay positive, and have fun. Bye! Ganbarubi!